After identifying that we've got 4 types of development mining, which is primary, secondary, tertiary, and infrastructural development. Now remember, this is all the mining that we do when we want to gain access into the vicinity of the ore body. The main purpose of this is to expose the ore which we want to take out and sell at profit. Now, after knowing all of this, we have to know the features of development, we have to know the layout, we have to know the orientation, we have to know the dimensions of development, like everything, you name it. Now, first of all, I am going to talk about the layout of development. Now, the layout of development, I'm first going to outline to you what is the purpose of layout in development. Now, we do a layout in development, one, because we want to delineate the ore body into workable portions. Because remember, this is a very huge thing that we want that we're gonna be working on, and a shaft is basically something like this, and then we have working areas or the shaft stations which take us to the ore body, and yeah, this is the thing that we want to work on. Now, if you want to work on this thing, the purpose of the mine layout or the development layout is to want to delineate this thing into portions that we can we can easily work on. That's the first purpose. The second purpose of the layouts in development is that we expose all the 3 dimensions of the ore body or the deposit. Now we know that the deposit has got, like, we've got all the 3 dimensions, we've got the length, we've got the width, and we've got the height. Now, yeah, that's like the purpose number 2 or the object number 2 of layout in development. And the third one would be that we want to provide safe ingress and egress of all the mine traffic. Now remember, in the mine there's a lot of things that are going on. We've got locomotives, we've got people, we've got ore passes, we're busy moving up and down. Now the purpose of the layout is that we provide safe ingress and egress of all mine traffic. And then lastly, the other object of layouts in development is that we position the mine infrastructure or the mine services into suitable locations. Now, what would be those services? Those services would be things like electric pipes, like water pipes, like air pipes for ventilation. It's all those things. We have to put them into suitable locations. Now, that is the purpose of all the layouts in development. Now, let's come and talk about these layouts that I'm talking about. Now remember, I said that we wanted to expose all the 3 dimensions of the deposit, which are the weight, the length, the length, the width, and the height. Sorry, no weight. So how do we go about exposing all these 3 dimensions in the ore body? What we do is that we have various openings, mine openings. They can be horizontal or whatsoever. They can be horizontal or vertical, but their main purpose is that they are going to cover a specific aspect or dimension of the ore body. For example, we've got crosscuts. Now, a crosscut runs perpendicular to the direction. No, not to the direction. It runs perpendicular to the ore body, to the surface of the ore body. So as it runs perpendicular, what does it cover? It typically covers the width of the deposit. Now we have the deposit. It's something like this. Okay, it doesn't look like this, but I just want to expose the dimensions. Like, and the opus, no, not the opus, sorry. The cross cut would typically cover the width of that deposit. That is, we have satisfied the exposing the width of the deposit using crosscuts. That is number one. Secondly, how do we expose the length of the deposit? Now, to expose the length, we've got things like the drifts or the drives. The drives run parallel to the deposit. Like, it runs parallel to the deposit, so it would cover the length of the deposit. That was the width. And then what covers the height of the deposit? To cover the height of the deposit, we have vertical development, like things like winzes, raises, and opuses. Now, this is very important to know. We have to know all of this. And then also, if we are going to be dealing with the mine layouts, we have to know what are the most important things that we need to consider while we are busy developing. We have to take into consideration, one, spacing, because the spacing determines how many developments are going to take place in that particular place where we are developing. So we have to pay attention to the spacing, because it influences the number of developments and subsequently the size of mining stope areas. So take special no, not consideration. Take special, pay special attention to the spacing. And then secondly, the length, because it has an effect on the time that is going to be spent developing the mine. Now, that was this video covers the development layouts. It's going to have to end here. Thank you so much for watching.